All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Milkshake Funeral. Dirty Pop.
Dirty Pop.
Dirty Pop. Still ain't got no music. Milkshake Funeral. Yeah. Almost forgot to do that this time. That would have been disappointing.
Different video.
Yeah.
People
It is different.
looking, the camera's looking right at
See,
me.
so that eye tells you that there's absolutely no one looking at us right now. So
Good.
You're relieved. I'm tragically saddened. A lifetime.
How did anybody even know to look? I mean, that doesn't make sense.
That's true. I've been trying to get as much attention as possible my whole life, though.
I mean,
so
no, there's one. Do you have like a notification you send out? I mean, did you post that we were?
Yeah, I think I have like a few. We have a few followers right now on my Twitter, Periscope, which so they'll get a notification. So whoever it is, they just jumped in and they said we don't want any part of this.
I don't want
They
this.
said I don't like that guy. That's cool. This will live on as they say, the internet has it. This will live on for a while. All right, folks. So this is let me just triple brand your asses right now. So this is live from the Milkshake Funeral, live from the quarantine, presents Dirty Pop Episode 6, The Future of the Comic Book Film and TV Industry.
For the cure.
For the cure. All right, so what we kind of want to talk about today, we just started kind of talking about the initial impact of COVID on the theaters and Black Widow. I never know where the camera is. And Black Widow particularly. And it just kind of spawned this whole other conversation about what is the future for comic book film and TV, which is really on top of the world going. When was Endgame?
Last April 26th.
Wow. So I guess we've kind of had a cooling off period since after Far From Home.
There was Spider-Man. It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great, but it's weird. Like that was only like July.
Yeah.
I think. So
yeah.
There's been
okay. Well, I guess what I want to talk about.
It's not like the longest dry spell, but it is since they really kind of ramped up after the first Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was even a little gap, I think, after that one because there's like Iron Man 3 and then Winter Soldier. But still, like it's after basically 2015, it was pretty much nonstop. So we're starving. So it's already been kind of the parties that we're all sobered up. Okay, we had the chaser with Spider-Man, like watched Endgame like 100 times.
We've all watched Endgame a lot, which they wanted us to, and we've had nothing. We've had no movies. We've had no Disney Plus TV shows. Somehow Disney Plus thought that they could just march out The Mandalorian, and that would be like, that's it. Y'all like that, right? And then it's over. I know they've got a new Star Wars show on there. They did a final season for Clone Wars, I think. This apparently is amazing, so we'll check it out. But that said, it was supposed to be kicking back up to, I'm not going to say high gear because we'll get into that later why it's not high gear because there really is no Marvel. I heard an article with Forbes. I don't have his name, but he called it the season premiere, which I really like that. We're gonna run with that. I'd like to give him credit at some point. But I want to talk
Scott Mendelson.
Scott Mendelson, yeah, okay. So I want to talk about the immediate impact. You've got 4 movies coming out that potentially could be affected by COVID-19. New Mutants, April 3rd. That's not going to happen.
Pretty much shelved it. I feel like I'll have to look, but I was I like watching the rumor mill stuff on YouTube, and it seems like it's definitely been shelved for a while. It's like the 4th time it's been scrapped from release, like a planned release date, and then they're like, no.
Is it just going to go to Hulu?
You got to think at this point with that one. What do we even like? Maybe you can get a couple subscribers off of it. Like,
well,
yeah.
I don't know if it's going to go to Hulu. I don't think it's going to go to Disney Plus, which is just really weird because they're trying to act like this is going to be part of the MCU, but not to go to. All right, we'll save New Mutants talk for when maybe it comes out. There's been plenty of analysis, but April 3rd, that's not happening. Black Widow is May 1st. I don't think that's going to happen.
They've already said they've canceled the release date.
Okay, yeah. Now
there is a possibility. Maybe you were going to get to this about James Gunn. I don't know if you were going to play into this with James Gunn.
Yeah, no, that'll kind of come later. So Widow's out.
But they have basically July 4th weekend opening because of the Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Well, she's in I don't want to jump into it. She is in Guardians' spot. This was supposed to be Guardians.
I thought they were the July.
No, I looked it up, and they've got the Guardian spot. Okay. Something we're going to talk about later is something that actually was bad, may end up being good luck, which is part of the point of that Forbes article.
But they usually have a July 4th weekend spot if they want it.
Yeah,
and they just don't have anything. So
they
could move it.
Wonder Woman June 5th. Is that happening? I don't know. I think
pretty far. I mean, that's hard to say.
I think there's a good chance. Folks are getting restless. We're not going to get into who you should be listening to or what you should be doing in terms of COVID. Consult an expert, and there's no one here that fits that bill. Let's say Wonder Woman. Let's say Wonder Woman happens. Morbius is July 31st. There's still scenarios where.
I mean, no one's going to go see that, but it has nothing to do with
with Morbius. Right. Wonder Woman. If we're all well and good, I very eagerly will head to the theater and check that out. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It looks amazing. And I think it's going to be even better than the last one. So you have this so COVID-19. You have this continued effect of no Marvel movies, and then you even have this weightier effect of. Because I think this is going to be an unintended consequence. You've got some of these movies are going to make their way immediately, like that movie, The Hunt. There's another movie that's already out.
I paid money to watch that.
Might, yeah.
I like weird stuff. I love that kind of movie.
And then
and I need something else to watch.
The Invisible Man, and so. Here's kind of what I wanted to get into a little before, and then we're going to push on ahead to the comic book stuff. Is this going to have are we going to get
a transformative effect?
There you go. Thank you. Are we going to get used to saying, sure, here is $20. I'd like it now. Is that because I think that's going to start happening a little bit.
You didn't like my idea. I really like.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
Treat home cinema like a theater. Have scheduled release times. Basically, it's like not on demand, pay-per-view for sports. You pay a fee, you get to watch it live when happens.
Can you hang on just a second? One of our fans in the back doesn't fully understand the camera range. So if you just want to go ahead and just make your way on through.
Hi.
There was some unintentional humor to watch you crawl. But anyway, so back to your idea. Live TV, folks.
Pay-per-view. I mean,
pay-per-view.
It's essentially you could. The whole reason I brought this up is because the people, everybody's talking about how these big budget films. Disney expects to make many hundreds of millions of dollars off Black Widow. I don't see any way that they would not wait to release it in the theater. But an alternative would be to try to cook up some kind of through Disney Plus or one of the other many apps that they probably own or could release. Just cook up basically a pay-per-view system, and you would get that kind of live, on-demand payment.
But you wouldn't own it.
No, you
just like you don't own a pay-per-view fight.
You turn on the stream at 1:00 in the afternoon on a Sunday, and
we're so used to just
watch Black Widow.
I'm gonna watch this when I want to watch it.
We do it with sports.
We do it with sports.
We go to the theater and watch movies at a certain time.
Man, pay-per-view model. You're gonna.
It's not. I don't think it would. I don't actually.
Do they even do pay-per-view movies anymore? I don't mean like Comcast. You remember there used to be the channels where.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that.
Because that's kind of what this
I envision it as Disney Plus releases an update to their app on all the platforms that support it, and now they have a pay-per-view.
It's an add-on. It's a premium.
It's just like an option. Yeah, they probably charge you your credit card. Yeah. You already got one probably associated with your account. So
they did something here recently. I believe that they dropped Frozen 2 on Disney Plus. And that shocked a lot of folks because they thought they could still make a lot more money off rentals, and they know people are going nuts, and they've got Disney Plus, and they don't want them to get rid of Disney Plus. So I'm just wondering what.
I guess I feel like with them, I'm really curious what their plan is for. I don't see how they would with Disney Plus. If you want subscribers, I don't feel like they can go the route of, hey, we're going to let Comcast rent this out for a while, and we're going to let Amazon rent this out for a while, and then we'll why would I pay for Disney Plus if I was that's crazy to me.
Well,
if I'm going to pay for Disney Plus, I expect their movies to be out there as soon as they're on digital.
Is it disrespectful to say? Okay, well, I'm going to preface this by saying the counter argument might be, well, you wouldn't say that about Iron Man 4, but let me just walk this
Iron
through.
Man 4. Now, hang on.
Let me just
Iron Man 4.
I got people on the street. Let me walk us through this. To say, if I'm Disney, you get Black Widow at home, and then you subscribe with a subscription of Disney plus say $10, you get Black Widow and a year-long subscription to Disney Plus, and you set the price as whatever. Is that it? Would that be viewed as, oh, this was it wasn't your first. They did Captain Marvel. Like, would this, as most things get to now, would it get sucked into the political battles if you wouldn't do this to a male-led superhero film, or what would reasonable people say? I'd like to see the movie, and I don't want to have to wait another 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is just kind of a one-time thing because of coronavirus. So
yeah. I'd like to see it. I have the free.
I want to see it now. I mean, I would pay to see it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see it. I don't want to have to. Yeah, because there is a problem that is going to come up with release dates if they can't get it out in the middle, like in the summer. And maybe you're going to get to that, but I know that they do have other things planned, like the Eternals in November. You get the shows out. I mean, and part of this. Apparently, they've already released a statement. I don't know if it was Feige or what, but like saying, saying that this is not going to affect the release dates of the Marvel, Disney Plus shows.
Well, they just suspended production of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Here's the thing, though. I was telling you, they've definitely filmed multiple episodes already and probably got them in the can. So I actually think they should leverage their opportunity right now and release. Basically, kind of like in a pilot model, and release like the first episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision much earlier than they intended, just to give us a taste. Give us that little Marvel Studios Disney Plus flavor.
Yes.
While we're in the wasteland of coronavirus.
I just think it's going to be a while, and man. I know it's not okay. So we can move off of this. Is this going to permanently change our expectations of how we consume? Look, we're shrinking it down to the comic book. But let's say Jordan Peele had a late spring, early summer horror flick that everybody was looking forward to. I think you could apply the same thing there. As if they I guarantee you, the biggest debate they're having right now is if we start doing this now and they get used to it, have we cannibalized the theater market permanently? Where we will, for at least a while, see a protest drop of, man, this was so nice. I could just see. That's what I would bet that their debate is right now. But they might try and go ahead and get ahead of the curve.
I feel like that's overthinking it.
I think it is too.
But yeah,
hey,
it's not like an invalid concern. But
yeah,
I think there's a lot that's different right now. So,
all right, cool.
All right, Disney, put it out, drop it.
And we have we do have some classy mics from Josh Etherly out there. I don't even know if you're watching, but thank you. We try. He's still there. Great. And so let's move on to the next part. I want to talk about one of my favorite topics. Sony. Those crazy kids just still making it happen or thinking they are. All right. So first of all, I want to set the table by saying Venom, an oddball hit that I enjoyed. But as we casting trumps everything, and they got the perfect guy. That script is a train wreck. I think the special effects are fine.
Yeah, I mean
the villain is a total loser. It's not good. And Tom Hardy just is like, I'm gonna have like he does the most. I'm just gonna have a lot of fun with this, and it comes.
I'm gonna be weird and really unexpected, and you're gonna like it. Yeah, I mean, and it's because it wasn't. He just played it so kind of bizarre for what you would think, like the typical kind of guy discovering anti-hero capability. Yeah, it was just, yeah.
Oh, and the genius offensive coordinator, the guy behind the curtain that should get some credit here is voiceover guy for Venom, because it was hilarious.
Yeah,
he said some funny shit in that movie, and his voice was perfect. So I quite like that. But then they did Spider-Verse, which is just a very particular taste. Pretty good. I found it. I think it got overlauded a little bit because it's so innovative, which is great. But boy, I enjoyed it. I really did. It looked amazing. But man, you would have thought it was like the greatest thing that ever come out of comic books. But I really liked it. I don't
It was
know.
good.
It was
really
good. Yeah, and they're doing a sequel. All right, that's it. So they have
It'll do well.
Yeah, so they have these two sort of unique niche.
Say it however you want.
One man's niche is another man's niche, and hits, and they're feeling themselves after Endgame. They've had these hits.
Spider-Man made $1 billion.
Spider-Man made $1 billion. For some reason, they think that's because of them. They literally had nothing to do with the movie.
Well,
Marvel Studios did that.
Yeah, I mean maybe they might think that, and they might not.
Okay, but we've started this, and so they're thinking we'll have not an into, but just a Spider-Verse. We're gonna have a Spider-Verse. What? Yeah,
with no Spider-Man so far, but yeah. Okay.
So I want you to rattle through some of the things that they were thinking they probably were going to do, or the rumors.
Yeah, but there's a lot of rumors. Again, back to my YouTube rumor mill. The things that I love hearing about is that, I mean, I have a hard time believing they're going to do these things, but I think the one that's been around for a while is the Black Cat and Silver Sable. Is it Black Cat? Is it
Black Cat and Silver Sable?
Yeah, so definitely Silver Sable. I think Black Cat is another character. I mean, these are, I guess, if you just love going deep into Spider-Man comics, you probably maybe like those characters.
I mean, if he's not in that movie,
you're talking about that. The latest ones are just so bizarre that it's laughable. There's a character called Solo, who's super high level summary from what I've never even heard of him, but the summary that I watched was that he is essentially like a mercenary who's great with firearm, any kind of weaponry, basically, and then has some occasional teleportation ability, which I don't get how that aligns with being like a merc, but all right. So they're thinking about him having a movie, and then Man-Wolf.
Man-Wolf.
You actually knew of. I, again, had never heard of it.
I had heard of it just a little bit. I used to buy
pull
a
up some
lot
images of Man-Wolf.
Man-Wolf. Tell him who he is, and then I'm going to pull
it's John Jameson, J. Jonah Jameson's son, the astronaut. And so one of the, I guess, I don't know how many trips he's had to I don't know if it was like a moon landing or something. He somehow gains this, it's like an alien werewolf persona.
Whoa.
Like, it looks like a werewolf, but it's not like an Earth kind of Grimm's fairy tale werewolf. I mean, it's some kind of crazy ass alien form of a werewolf, and then it evolves over time into something called the Star God. Wow. And he's like crazy powerful, but he can like still use the wolf form.
Look at him go!
Really likes.
Is he conscious right now? Like, does he know? Like, or is he?
Yeah, I think he. I don't know. I think there's some. I think there's some variation on his cognitive ability. But yeah, I mean, boy. I mean, it looks cool in a comic.
No commercials for Amazon.
But,
Oh, see, he is. So I asked you if he had cognitive ability. I said, is he just like, raw?
I said there is debatable, there seems to be a variation on that. I think when he becomes Star God, he can look like Man-Wolf, but be a little bit more aware of his human faculties.
Is the subtitle just Man-Wolf? Roar. Yeah. Okay, so they think they're going to do that.
And Spider-Man's still probably not in any of these movies. Almost definitely not appearing in. He's not going to be in Morbius. I mean, that's amazingly happening. I'm still that baffles the hell out of me.
Okay.
And there's a Spider-Verse so far for a while without. Now they're going to try to solve this I feel pretty confident they're going full Rogues Gallery for Spider-Man 3.
But with who besides Venom and Morbius?
Michael Keaton.
Oh, Vulture.
The Scorpion, which is, I mean,
who's Scorpion?
That guy who was just like a criminal who approached Michael Keaton at the end of the movie, like, hey, you know who Spider-Man is?
He said, hey, who wants to know?
Again, Sony is terrible at casting. I don't know who. See, that's the interesting thing here. I don't know how much involvement they really do have.
Tom Hardy
with the Spider-Man movies.
You don't love Jared Leto as Morbius?
I don't want anyone as Morbius. I don't want to see Morbius. I mean, I will watch it eventually, but I cannot imagine what it would take for me to pay to see that.
That is the rumor mill, okay?
And these are I actually think at some point most of these things will not happen. Definitely, if Morbius fails, most of these things go right out the window. And I don't know, maybe you're going to get to this. I was just going to say the biggest thing you're also hearing about in rumor is that rumor mill says Sony seems to be cozy.
Okay, hang on. Because what I'm going to say is, I think they had all these ideas that we just rattled off. Some some true, some not. I mean, they talked about a Craven movie, Craven the Hunter. I think they've watched the MonsterVerse over at Universal.
I mean,
I think they've watched.
I thought that was a fine mummy movie. The other ones do not hold up.
I liked it.
This is a separate debate.
I mean, yeah, but
they're pretty bad in rewatches at this point.
They're talking about the new Invisible Man movie. They're gonna. I don't know if it's retrofit or not. I haven't seen it.
People had such a problem with them saying like Dark Universe when they did the Universe. Like, I don't really mind them calling their shot. Anyway, I'm sorry. Very far down the road.
No, the DCU.
I mean, completely just fractured.
You know what's bad is
if
they would have just taken. And this is probably going to be my point. You either take your time or you get Marvel to do it. And Marvel is going to actually force you to take your time. So they're the same thing. DC, we're not going to go too far this way because we're not talking about Warner Brothers right now. They rushed it. As Jeff Bridges said in The Contender, who wouldn't want a shortcut to greatness? So, and that's what they went for, and they flamed out.
They've had to recast Batman. I mean, it's like they barely got going, and you're like recasting, and people seem to want to get rid of Henry Cavill, but he's like, hang on, like. I said I'm going. Like I've not said I'm going anywhere yet.
You're like Witcher's no work. I literally had like 20 lines. Most of it was just me going, ugh, which is awesome, by the way.
He actually really wants to be Superman.
So
apparently.
Okay, so I say they see these things and they're like,
"This is Sony you're talking about."
Yes, and they're like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't commit $1 billion to try and launch 8 movies, half of which people have never heard of the friggin' characters, and you've got use.
So another part of the rumor mill that seems to be make some of these other rumors interesting is that there's also this idea that maybe they're, we know that there was the big explosion when they said Spider-Man's out, and then they came back to the table and was like, well, for one more Spider-Man movie and then one more major.
Drunk appearance. Tom Holland calls
Bob Iger
and the Sony CEO.
I don't know. I can't remember. At the time, I knew it, but
Metal Gear Solid. Sure. I don't know what his name is.
So. They're apparently maybe cozying up a little more to the idea of Tom Holland remaining in the MCU long term and maybe having more appearances. That I think you kind of are going to take like what that signals. I think that signals something like, hey, we need to like. I was thinking. I mean, you maybe are thinking like Marvel will save us, but I'm thinking more, hey, we want to hedge our bets. We're going to try some weird shit. But we got Spider-Man in the MCU. Look, you actually think it's going maybe a little further than that.
We've learned, one of the lessons of Marvel is tie it to the big thing, and people are much more willing to come watch your thing that they may not normally care about if it was a one-off. And there's levels of this, right? So I'm going to name some movies that they do it. That I don't mean no one would have seen it. I don't even mean it wouldn't have been a hit. But it wouldn't have made $1 billion, and you can put the Ant-Man's didn't.
Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't even hit $1 billion, and they very heavily tied it to Infinity War.
Oh yeah, they were like
Infinity War was going to be.
Gotta come see it, and sure, there was a little connection. Captain Marvel, it was a fine movie. I didn't love it. It just felt very stale. I didn't love it, but you can bet your ass I was going to be there to see it. Because I knew the role she was going to play in Infinity War. And I liked it fine.
From what they were saying her role was going to be in Endgame.
Yeah.
Which didn't really come to fruition.
No.
I think there was a lot of bait and switch around her character.
Oh, yeah.
And how they used her. And
she was a guided missile twice.
There was a post-credit scene in her film. It was very cool and
they're not
very relevant to Endgame.
That is one of my criticisms of Endgame. Like, they didn't do her character any favors in Endgame by making her seem rude and aloof when the reality was she was too powerful not to have to park somewhere. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine her going back in time? Like, it ain't going to be no fight. Okay? Like, it's just not going to be hard. But so they knew we got a sideliner, so they ask her for help, and she's like, there's 1 billion planets out here, and everybody's, covered in shit. I don't know. It was weird. I didn't, and it was just odd.
It's pitch meaning like because reasons.
Because
I need to not be here.
Yeah. I mean, that they need to we'll get to.
And they made Thor not Thor for. I mean, I like bro Thor or whatever, but also Thor was not his Asgardian god ass kicking self through a lot of it. So in the end.
And I think people knew Doctor Strange was going to have a large role in Infinity War. Well, everybody knew that before Doctor Strange even came out. And I enjoyed that movie. But again, I think that's another one where it's like,
Doesn't really matter.
I don't know, but you know what? I know this shit is going to build up to an Infinity War, and these people are in it. And you know what? They're all good enough.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Even Ant-Man and the Wasp is good enough.
You're like, you know what? They're always at least pretty good.
Captain Marvel had some incredible visuals, a rocking soundtrack at times. They didn't fully. I don't want to get into a Captain Marvel movie review, but they didn't fully really commit to it. They just. A connection is my like that would come in like but then they didn't want to do it a lot.
No, play the song. I just play the songs.
Just play the songs. Guardians of the Galaxy is nowhere near as effective as a movie if there's like just the one song. But anyway, so you want to be tied into the MCU. So instead of throwing a kick and screaming fit like Sony was to so constantly like people think Rob thinks you're so on point. Well,
thank you.
You know, I put a lot of work into this.
The Ron Sock, by the way.
And so, you want to be tied to the MCU. And I think Sony is growing up a little bit and learning they have a lot more to gain by cozying. I think they're going to want Marvel to take over more of even the production.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Clearly, they did. I don't think they did with Morbius. I don't know. I haven't researched it. I don't think so. It doesn't because you don't get the Marvel Studios thing on the trailer.
Oh no, it's not any. I mean, there's no Marvel Studios that I'm aware of. I mean, even the logo looks. God, it looks like something about like 15 or 20 years ago. It's so weird. Like that weird, like hard, that shiny metallic font.
I don't know. All right, so so we're talking about the future of Sony. They don't, like I said, they don't have anything coming out. So we're talking.
They had to cancel. It actually did release the Bloodshot. Not doing well. Coronavirus saved Bloodshot.
Man, why you're hiring Vin Diesel for a movie that's not called Fast and Furious insert number? I have no idea.
Or Groot.
But
which I love how much.
Good for Vin.
I wish he almost had something because he loves the MCU. By the way, he's always wanted to talk about it. People ask me in interviews. Sorry. Yeah.
No, all right.
The Bloodshot. Poor Blood. I mean, kind of. They're like, you know what? No, we're gonna have to pull it. Like, it actually came out already, but okay.
Oh yeah, there was a post. So they are. Yeah, Sony did put a poster. There's a Spider-Man poster in the.
In the trailer. Oh yeah.
There's some Easter eggs.
Spider-Man. Yeah, like Rob is right. Like, Spider-Man is going to be a presence in Morbius.
But I think
there's the cool poster. It says like murderer. And he's like on a wall.
Well, I'm going to go in for. I think they.
And then
want,
you got Adrian Toomes. I mean, there's there's another connection.
I think they're hoping to God that Marvel wants Osborn to become a big bad like they did in the comics here recently. Trust me, they want to be connected. They want you to need to go see Solo because he might pop up in Shang-Chi 2. And help him fight somebody. Like they want you thinking that way. It's a win-win for them.
Well, I mean, they sold Venom like lots of rumors before Venom was really saying that Tom Holland was going to have at least a cameo. Even they were like, well, maybe even is Peter Parker, not Spider-Man. There was nothing, and that was bullshit. And I'm fully on the train of they released that shit. It wasn't just a rumor that got cooked up. Sony probably released that. I absolutely can believe that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Rob, the twist, the poster for Spider-Man could just be an ad for a PlayStation game. I will walk outside and self-immolate if that happens. I will go on the sidewalk and I will just set myself on fire. All right. So future, we can't talk about the future comic without getting to Marvel Phase 4. So Phase 4, or as I like to call it, the Island of Misfit Toys. It's weird. There's a lot of potential in this lineup. There's a lot of room for thud. So I think the Black Widow movie is a hit. It feels like a Russo brothers special. I wish this movie had come out years ago.
It should have come out right after Civil War.
It should have come out right after Civil War. I don't know why they were so hesitant. I guess they didn't want to do a story to take any of the look off of building up to Thanos at that. But that really, at that point, I mean, Ant-Man hadn't even come out yet, right?
Ant-Man came out after Ultron.
See, right? Black Widow should have come out. Anyway,
the first Ant-Man.
So Black Widow hit. Falcon and Winter Soldier, August 2020. Hopefully, that'll be a hit. Eternals, that could be who knows, man. You got Jon Snow being Jon Snow, Angelina Jolie. I don't even know what. So it could be good. WandaVision looks innovative. Now we're into that's 2020 though. Like that's it, and we're done. So that's weird. Shang-Chi in 2021.
I'm just from a little bit I've heard about this. I'm a little stoked for this movie.
Which movie?
I keep hearing
Which movie? Which movie?
You keep hearing Bloodsport is like a major inspiration for like, and there's going to be like a tournament, like a martial arts tournament.
There is not a Marvel executive that has ever lived, is living, or will live that's going to let them do something based on anywhere remotely close to Bloodsport.
But if they
did, it pisses me off that they're saying.
But if they did,
yeah, no one will be chanting Kumite.
Probably not.
We'll see. I have no idea. I've read it. He is a super big character in the comics from what I've read. It's at least I tend to just I've really caught up recently on the large the big storylines, the big spectacle stories, Infinity. There was another one. And he's cool. Tony gives him some armor. He's Bruce Lee. I mean, I love Bruce Lee. I like watching Bruce Lee. We'll see. Oddly enough, oftentimes Marvel's at its best when it's trying something really outside of its wheelhouse. So, but still, let's just think about normal what they've done for the last 10 years. So, Black Widow, yes, that fits in. Falcon and Winter Soldier, yes. The Eternals, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as fun and upbeat as Guardians, so we'll see. They've got an incredible cast. It's probably the best. Loki is going to they're
pretty stoked for
their TV series look amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They said. I mean, I guess everybody was kind of like, "We'll see," but they said this is going to be. These are major event series, just like we're spending the money like the movies.
So, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Sam Raimi of Spider-Man, the original trilogy.
They basically pushed
and a lot of other things.
Scott Derrickson out. They're like, you want to do something different, and we need these we need a whole bunch of things to happen in this movie.
It's just weird because I thought that movie met my expectations for what a film about Doctor Strange would kind of be. So I didn't really understand them.
He wanted to do like a horror film. They're like, no, we need to set up the multiverse. So
is this kind of like when
it sounds like they may even be heading toward like a cool adaptation of House of M, and it's just there was like this series of tweets that he released last year up to December, and then I think it was January when
he being
Scott Derrickson.
Okay, this was the former director for the folks in the stands.
Seems to have been a trail.
He directed the first Doctor
Strange. More frustrated with.
What was he saying in the tweets?
Basically, that release dates are the enemy of creativity or something like that was one.
Ooh, see, Marvel, they don't want to hear that.
I mean, going way back, he was like, "Oh, we're going to do a horror, Marvel's first horror film." And then they'd ask Kevin Feige, I was like, "Well, kind of, but not really." So. It's very clear to me from everything that's been kind of compiled that there was a disconnect between Marvel Studios and him.
I mean,
Scott Derrickson.
They're not going to let you just do whatever.
Well, and I think they also realized they need to do a lot more with this film. That's why they're putting Wanda in it.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not even sure that was the initial.
You think they're headed for House of M, and that's how they. And then
I don't think that was the initial goal of Doctor Strange 2 was to have her in it.
Okay. So that's 2020. So I've hit 2021. Loki, Strange 2, What If, a cartoon series that should be fun.
Really cool.
Does everybody who's ever been in a Marvel movie is apparently happy to come back and do voice work, from Tony Stark to Josh Brolin and everybody in between. Thor: Love and Thunder, which I could not be happier for.
That's the marquee of this whole list. That is the thing.
And then Hawkeye series. And he needs to get back to work. I love
Jeremy Renner, so
he needs to get back to work.
Hey, you heard there's a lot of rumors. He's going to have a part in Black Widow. Apparently, he's in it a little bit.
Well, he did say here's the only reason. So he was in court recently to try and get his child support lowered from $30,000 a month, which is a good gig if you can get it, down to $18,000 a month because he has said he had counted on the Avengers month thing stopping, Money Train basically stopping, but. The stoppage, I guess they haven't even started filming Hawkeye, which means he probably isn't getting paid for Hawkeye. So, he needs this, but he needs Jeremy, you can't just be Santa Claus saying, I need this. But anyway, and that caps off fall of 2020. It's a weird phase 4. It is a phase 4 that hits me as someone who perhaps they weren't totally sure what to commit to.
So Loki is the only show for next year, right?
What if?
Well, I'm not. I mean, that's
animated series.
It's a little
right.
different.
That's not part of the MCU.
More like this cool little series of
the Hawkeye series is supposed to be. Oh, well, yeah, it's supposed to be 2021.
So you think it'll hit? Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Boy, if they can't get a Hawkeye series, they've already started hyping a little bit. We're in trouble. So anyway,
you're right. I just kind of So
phase 4
that gives them a lot of wiggle room. So even if they release it, early December, they still hit that.
So I want to talk about. I do want to talk about some dumb luck real quick, and then I want to end on a note that's not. I am a hyper negative person, so I do want to end on a questioning of Marvel's choices.
You want everything your way, the way I want it.
If they would just do this shit the way I want it, everything would be amazing. Goodness gracious. Gosh, just let Brie Larson have some one-liners. Get the 21 Jump Street people to write the Captain Marvel movie. Anyway,
I gotta believe that it's the direction and production and not her. Like,
she's amazing.
Yeah, I just think they need to cut her loose. Like, let her do her thing, man. Yeah.
And okay, and let me say something to that.
Also,
I don't care what she
level,
looks like. By the way, they can cut her hair any way they want. They can put her whatever else suit they want. There's just nothing possible. This is going to leave.
I have an issue that I think she's probably just a little too overpowered. It makes it hard to create a story when she flies through the sanctuary. That ship is like the size of a moon, and she just flew through it, which is awesome. But you didn't need anybody. I mean,
it's the Superman conundrum.
It even felt contrived that like Thanos was able to knock her away because at one point he had to butter her with his full might.
One of the most unbelievable things in Endgame. And I was like,
well, if she's that powerful, then just rip his arm off of his body and take. I mean, I just think they've created a very weird situation with her, but it's not. I just don't think it's not her. They've got to let her have more charisma, and because I think she can.
She's a peacock. You got to let her fly.
Like, she's a really good actor. Let her do her thing.
All right, Captain Marvel is the discussion star of my universe most of the time because I'll try and just orbit it for a second, and it's
gonna suck you in,
pulls me back in. All right, so I want to talk about some dumb luck on their part. And this guy, he coined this move, this phrase. I don't know if he coined it or not. The writer, Mendelsohn at Forbes, was talking about that Guardians of the Galaxy was supposed to be in the Black Widow slot in May. And it was going to be and I love this term, the season premiere for the next thing. Like, whatever this is going.
Well, it was really supposed to give us the cosmic Marvel universe.
Well, but it was going to set into motion. Like, I think we probably were going to get a glimpse at who the next big bad is. Yeah. Like, so
you were probably at least going to get a small appearance from Space Jesus, Adam Warlock.
I hope he's better than he is in Infinity War, or Infinity Gauntlet. But he's not bad. But whatever. But what the author's point was basically, Black Widow is a movie you can move and be okay. Yeah. And he's like, it was really dumb how they overreacted and jumped the James Gunn and fired him so quickly. Y'all get that? But it turns out it's probably going to work out. Obviously, it's going to work out in their favor because that was not going to be a movie that you could move easily without causing a ripple effect. Oh. And now he thinks that the season premiere will occur in Doctor Strange in May
next year.
Yeah.
Well, and that goes along with some of the things of them realizing, and it probably has to do with Guardians, why they needed to retool Doctor Strange so much.
I don't know though. You don't have.
You can't wait to see Dormammu come back. You love Dormammu.
Why don't we just
come to bargain?
I mean, just over and over and over. It's like the Groundhog's Day sequel I never wanted. In that case, it's cute. It is cute. It's hard. I grew up on these comics where everything builds up to an epic battle. I never read Doctor.
How many times did he die?
Yeah. No, it's clever. It's very clever.
A dozen or like a million? We have no idea. That's always the thing with the kind of Groundhog Day scenario. Live, die, repeat. I mean, it's how long? Give me a number.
I do. This is an instance. I'm rarely wrong, but this is an instance where I can admit that doesn't fit my ideal story structure. for how a superhero thing ends up, but I do respect the hell out of that.
I feel like then if that's the case, a lot of Marvel movies probably don't. Then
they don't. No, most of them don't meet my expectations.
Black Panther is probably the pinnacle then of that.
Oh, Winter Soldier.
He doesn't really
Infinity War, Endgame.
But there's not really like a villain hero battle. I mean, his villain is all the ships and Shield.
They give it to you quite a bit.
Killmonger is kind of.
I mean, Homecoming, they gave me what I wanted. Watching him and Michael Keaton beat the hell out of each other on top of an airplane. See, I guess I have a thing I want.
Fight scene, but
well, I have a thing I want, and I'm willing to accept
really
levels.
Made it the sneaky thing, which I don't know. They made it a car chase, but on a plane.
Oh, I'll give you one. Thor 2. Was he fighting a cloud? I don't even remember what happened.
What's his name? It never rains, but it pours.
Doctor Who. Yeah. All right, so that's all I wanted to talk about.
It was kind of like all of them. So that was a nice change of pace finally to like have all of them just. Well, I guess they always kind of do that. They all ganged up on Loki. They all ganged up on Ultron. They all tried to gang up on Thanos and lost.
Yeah, I got more of what I wanted out of Ultron, which we're gonna do. So we've got another podcast series coming out, tentatively called
Just Press Play.
Anyway, Just Press Play. Just about some fun movies that don't necessarily get talked about as much. We'll break that rule plenty. Some that we think should have won Oscars. Ultron is not that movie, but it still may end up on that list.
It's a lot better.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. Our first one. It has a very silver lining. Okay, so we've talked about Phase 4. It's weird. I want to talk about the thing that I bring up with you every single time, and this is the
thing I've been waiting for.
This is what
you saved this one.
I did.
The last time. This is your. It's not a Sony hot button, but it's something you really like.
No, I believe Marvel with the exit of Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, and I think they are hard exits. I know there's a lot of talk and hope. I don't think so. I think they're gone.
Is a possibility. I think Downey.
Well, they're going to have to unwind it because he's Joe Biden now. Like he is just. They've
already introduced the mechanism to do it. They did it in Endgame. When they turned.
That's a baby.
They turned Paul Rudd into a baby. They ran time through him.
So they have
boom one liner.
It's fixed. That's the way it works in comics. They have a charisma problem.
Well, the charisma is why they were. It's not like that they. They've done some things that are unusual for film, but
rank the most.
Is why these movies have been so successful.
Robert Downey Jr.'s charisma, you could call it hubris, whatever you want, is the bedrock that the entire 10-year run is built on.
Because there's also emotion. I mean, there's a lot there,
and it elevates. To me, there's two major. In terms of core character, there's two major elevations, probably three, but. The next one is when Chris Evans gets turned into what Captain America became in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Black Panther. I'm going to put that over here because that did something different. Because I don't think he's very charismatic. He was very charismatic in Civil War, but I don't think he pops. I mean, he's good. He is Black Panther, but he needs a buddy. Killmonger, they better bring him back.
Conflict. Yeah, I mean,
give him some conflict. But I'm going to put that here.
Michael B. Jordan kind of.
And then Ragnarok, and now. Between Hemsworth and Downey and Evans, there's almost too much for them all to be on screen at once, and that's not even talking about Groot. But to me, the problem is,
Ant-Man. I mean, Paul Rudd with them is awesome. I mean, Civil War.
Sorry, let's talk about what you have left in the charisma.
You want to finish? Yeah.
In the charisma, let's talk about what you have left in the charisma.
You've got two
charisma
gigantic
container
holes of swirling, vectors of sinking.
Yeah.
Water in the ocean with you're thinking a Kraken's going to come up from the lack of just what they did with it.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I would have told you that I think Scarlett Johansson and Don Cheadle and Paul Rudd were honestly, it. That was a big mistake to kill her off.
I can't believe. Just before we move on, what they did with her character is maybe the richest growth of a character throughout the entire franchise. I mean, that little kind of monologue of hers to Steve Rogers and Endgame at the beginning about before she had this, she had nothing.
Oh.
She was better. It's
good.
And people can relate to the feeling of just utter despair of how they failed. And she is bearing Like the full weight of it.
Yeah. Captain Marvel's got to take out the trash and some Galaxy 3 things over and can't.
But it seems to be like it's falling all on her. You feel it.
You feel it. Yeah. It's weighty. Captain America, but. All right, hang on. I don't want to go too far down that way because I want to talk what they've got left.
At some point, we're just going to talk about it in game.
I want to know what they have left, and I'm not gonna try and divide this in any other certain way other than what I've seen on the screen and what pops. And here's my group of what I think you have left, and I don't think all of these people that I'm going to name can lead just by the nature of who their character is. War Machine.
Yeah, I think Don Cheadle is way too good of an actor to be on the side, like to not be featured.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah.
War Machine.
He had great scenes in Endgame.
Paul Rudd, Hemsworth. I don't know where to put Chris Pratt and the Guardians in this. I think he's there, but
I feel like Rocket's maybe more charismatic than him.
So yeah. Rocket next to Tony Stark and Evans. Tony Stark and Thor and Cat. Rocket has been developed more than any other character. Maybe all right. Black Widow. Black Widow kind of came to us, kind of getting better. We didn't really see her. You know what I mean? Like at her worst.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know what they're gonna do. Peter Parker is still too much of a kid. I'm not gonna buy him.
After his movie, I mean, he won't. I don't think he'll show up with them for a while. So
I just don't know. Paul Rudd and Hemsworth are. And Cheadle are probably the ones that ooze charisma the most, but
just because of what they've shown, in the MCU, not the actors. Because what we were saying, I think Brie Larson is capable, but they have not shown us that they're willing to do that with her character.
That character is pretty close to Captain America and
Vision.
Captain America.
There's not a lot of difference between like charisma, like Captain Marvel and Vision.
Captain Marvel and Vision, level. Yeah.
I mean, Vision at least like cracked a joke about. I've never eaten anything, my amygdala is synthetic, kind of thing. Like,
nice quote, man. That's a deep cut. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I have a couple suggestions. She-Hulk, and not as a Disney Plus series either.
That's the plan, though.
Well, they need to listen to me. So this actress, I don't know if some of y'all are familiar with. Her name is Betty Gilpin. If any of y'all watch Glow, she is amazing, and she could probably carry it pretty well. She almost kind of looks like the She-Hulk from the films. And then if they want to bring back Tony Stark, they've already gotten to the multiverse. Look, there's no way that the characters named Captain America and Iron Man are not going to be, and I don't mean Bucky or Falcon. I mean friggin' Steve Rogers and Tony Stark.
Iron Man's even different from Captain America. He's so critical, especially the things they've not even touched on from like major comic arcs. He's so critical to so many of them. Yeah, like I have a hard So
this is
we are in full agreement on this.
Oh, Alex, how you like this? I went into the well. So this is Alexander Draymond. Draymond. And so I don't know what all that is.
That's messing me up right now.
Yeah, that's gotta go. All right, viewer, you can just experience it there. So he is the lead on Last Kingdom, and he pops. This?
That's a cool one.
That's a cool one. Yeah.
That's probably my Last Kingdom.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you. Wikipedia is always safe. Kind of. He looks a lot. I mean, if somebody was like that is Tony Stark's like little brother, you'd be like, oh, of course.
Universe, Earth 8998, or I don't know the designations, but just pick a number basically for multiverse.
So I think they're gonna need it. I think they're gonna need that character.
Like he is just bursting with charisma on Last Kingdom. I thought the show looked kind of just vanilla, and it is really it will draw you in, and you will burn through it. And he's swashbuckling. And it's great because it's like he is the main character, and he's in almost every scene.
Yeah, and he carries it. All right, let me do this because there might be some people like maybe this is a little scattered. Tell me who is in the next. Who is in Avengers 5? Who's the squad? I don't care about the plot.
I mean,
give me the 6 people that are the Avengers.
The weird thing is I mean, I would think just because of contracts. I mean, obviously, Brie Larson, probably Chadwick Boseman. I mean, I think Chadwick Boseman's definitely in. Paul Rudd. I don't know about Don Cheadle. Honestly, I think that's very much up in the air whether or not he'll be around. Wanda Maximoff's definitely in. Maybe they're going to go with like the Ghost.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is definitely in.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's definitely in the next one for sure.
It's a weird cast, man. Because, see, Paul Rudd can get so goofy. See, they're going to have to – he's going to have to sacrifice some of his wit and jokes to probably take – and I know it's
nice. Maybe more of like the earnest, so like some of the earnest nature of Cap. He may probably the person you would think would. And in truth,
he is most often the person who is the.
You also have Bucky. You have Winter Soldier and Falcon also.
They'll
bring a lot of charisma. Luckily,
yeah.
But I don't know what they're going to do.
But Ant-Man, you know what? Honestly, he is us in a lot of these movies. Like he represents the viewer, and so. You're not going to be able to necessarily put him front and center.
They look like bad guys.
Yeah. I just don't know. I hope they just really get experimental with Captain Marvel too, and they bring in. I don't even know. I'm sure we'll save this again. We'll save it for next time. I'm just concerned because I don't know. You know, in Infinity War, you had Evans driving half the movie and. Hemsworth I should say a third, and then pretty close to the same thing with Endgame. So I don't know.
Did we say Thor? I mean, yeah, that's kind of up in the air. We don't actually know if he'll. I mean, I don't know what his contract situation is. So
he'll be around, and I think. I mean, you know, Men in Black,
crazy to go.
Yikes! I think a lot of these folks. I mean, look up. Chris Evans is doing.
I mean,
he's got an Apple.
We love him, but like,
Plus show. What?
I mean, I might upset. I don't know if it's Rob that's on here. I don't want to. Or no, we have no viewers right now.
Are you going to say it?
Snowpiercer is not a good movie. It's
God.
Fun
there's some film critics that would just burn you at the stake.
And I appreciate
it's kind of gross.
that it's kind of different. They obviously were trying to do something different, but it's just there's a reason it didn't make. I don't think it made a lot of money at the theater. I'm sure it's made a decent amount of money since, just because it's kind of gotten this like cult following.
Yeah.
You know, you look at, I think Not Another Teen Movie is one of his pantheon, like one of his best in terms of acting.
Yeah, it's
you know,
his comedic acting. His human, anyway.
Yeah, his Human Torch in the first.
Oh,
he was great.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, I can go into a lot of his movies. I've seen, Cellular. I've seen it. It's not very good. I've seen Gifted. It's actually kind of heartwarming. It's fine. But, I mean, he's not breaking any doors down. And
I mean, Knives Out.
Knives Out, but that was an ensemble. Okay.
Yeah.
The two leads, he was not one of the two leads.
No, the
Daniel
woman,
Craig and
the woman, I can't think of her. She's.
Look at that. Well,
yeah.
Google.
Yeah. But they have
you know what's bad? I'll get Armando Sante.
I think her first name's Anna, but I'm not totally
sure.
Knives Out.
But yeah, so Knives Out.
Yeah.
And there's like I've never actually watched
Ana de
Armas. I've never watched Before We Go. I have seen what was the other one with Michelle Monaghan? Can't remember the name of that.
If we're gonna sit and run down Chris Evans, we don't have all night.
It's not Hall of Fame material. Really, I mean, Cap. So. That's why I think there's a chance he comes back. Especially the idea of him like doing a movie about his adventure through the quantum realm.
I don't think
he's stones back.
Well, that would be a hell of a fun movie.
He has said that would be a hell of a movie.
I don't think he's coming back. I don't think anybody that said they were done. I think they're done. And I think Marvel better get.
He has time. With his age, he's got in 10 years. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. They should not be deluded by box office to think that they have it nailed down, and that also. They need to get Lakeith Stanfield, who's also in Knives Out, who is in Atlanta. They've already gone and got. They've already gotten one Atlanta fella for Eternals. Just go get another.
Man.
If Donald Glover would like to do, they need.
I mean, I guess it wouldn't really matter. He has been a character in this season.
They need juice, and they also need to juice up Captain Marvel, and they need to Black Panther and T'Challa. He needs to go through some stuff.
Just like he did in Civil War.
Just like he did in Civil War.
Oh, man, his stuff about like, don't bother, I'll kill him myself.
Because that's Kilgore's.
He's hardcore.
Michael B. Jordan makes that movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So that's it. That said, I will be in line to purchase a ticket for Marvel movies for the foreseeable future. Yeah, but just call me, Kevin. I got some ideas. All right, sweet. That's it. We're out of here.
Bye.
Bye. Peace. What happened to peace?